Welcome back to Legends May Live, where we dive into the unexplainable, the eerie, and the downright mind bending. I'm your host, Drew, and tonight we have two incredible stories that will challenge your perception of reality. Both tales involve something that should have been impossible: a hotel elevator that led to the past, and a man who experienced his own death before waking up alive. Buckle up, because these are the kind of stories that make you question everything you know about time, death, and the nature of reality. Our first story takes place in Wiston Hospital in the northwest of England. The year was 2021, and our storyteller, a man in his early 40s, was admitted for a serious MSSA blood infection and endocarditis. He spent 6 weeks there recovering, and for most of that time, things were routine. But then, one night, something happened that he still can't explain. Wiston Hospital is a modern building, but it wasn't always that way. The old hospital, which stood in the same place, had that classic 19th century design, the kind of place that probably saw its fair share of tragedies. But that old structure was demolished, and in 2010, a brand new hospital took its place. Or at least, that's what's supposed to have happened. Our storyteller had a nightly routine: leave the ward, take the elevator down, step outside for a cigarette, and come back the same way. Simple enough, until one night everything changed. He got into the elevator, pressed the button for his floor, but instead of going up, the elevator descended. At first he thought it was a simple malfunction. No big deal. He'd just pressed the right button when it stopped. But when the doors opened, everything felt wrong. The hallway was darker, eerily empty. The walls looked older, not like the modern sterile hospital he'd been staying in. There were no nurses, no patients, no staff, just silence. And against his better judgment, he stepped out. That's when he saw it: a sign above the doorway that read, "Accident and Emergency." But that didn't make sense. The hospital's A&E department was supposed to be upstairs, not below. The further he walked, the stranger it got. The air felt heavy, and when he reached the patient beds, there were old metal frames with thin blue mattresses, completely outdated, something straight out of another era. He had this overwhelming sensation that he was being watched, and quickly panic set in. He turned and ran back to the elevator. Heart pounding, he slammed the button for his floor. The doors finally closed, and when they opened again, he was back in the normal, modern hospital. After that, he avoided the elevator whenever possible. But a week later, he had no choice but to use it again. He pressed the button, and when the elevator arrived, he froze. Instead of displaying a floor number, the screen simply showed a single letter: X. That was enough for him. He turned around and took the stairs instead. To this day, he doesn't know what happened that night. Was it a time slip? A glitch in reality? Or did he somehow step into the ghost of the old hospital? One thing's for sure: he'll never forget that night. Our next story is something even stranger. Imagine for a moment that you experience your own death, the full sequence of events, the last moment before impact, only to wake up alive 20 minutes before it happened. Sounds impossible? Well, that's exactly what happened to our next storyteller. It all started with a simple favor. A man, we'll call him Kevin, received a phone call from his next door neighbor asking if he could help move a heavy mattress upstairs for his sick mother. Being the good neighbor that Kevin was, he agreed. When he arrived, another man was there to help, a priest. The three of them worked together, carrying the mattress upstairs. Afterward, the neighbor asked if he could help move an armoire as well. Again, Kevin agreed. And that's when everything went wrong. The stairs had 11 steps. Our storyteller was about 6 steps up, holding the bottom end of the armoire, when the neighbor and the priest lost their grip. The heavy wooden armoire came crashing down. He fell backwards, tumbling down the stairs, heading straight for the pavement. And then he woke up. He was sitting in his dining room, his phone ringing. His wife was there, asking if he was going to answer it. He picked up the phone. It was his neighbor, asking if he could help move a mattress upstairs. He went over, and he saw the priest again, but this time he said, "I can help you with the mattress, but I can't help with the armoire." His neighbor was confused. "How did you know about the armoire?" he asked. That's when our storyteller explained, "Because I already did this, and I died." His neighbor didn't believe him until he described the entire upstairs bedroom in perfect detail. The metal mattress frame, the intricate headboard leaning against the wall, but he had never been upstairs before that moment. The priest was fascinated. He had so many questions, but Kevin didn't have the answers, because for all his logical reasoning, he couldn't explain what happened. All he knew was that he experienced his own death and then woke up before it ever happened. So what do you think? Did our storyteller shift realities? Was he granted a second chance? And what about the elevator that led to the past? Could it be a true time slip or something even stranger? One thing is for certain. The world is far more mysterious than we think. Thanks for tuning in to Legends May Live. If you've got your own strange experience, reach out. I'd love to hear it. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep questioning, keep searching, and keep the legends alive.